Let's talk about Baker Mayfield and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Right now, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are 4-6 on the season. And you look at the Atlanta Falcons, they're 6-5. There is still a huge window for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to go out there and possibly win this division. They were in a similar situation last year with the New Orleans Saints, and it came down to basically a tiebreaker. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers won the tiebreaker. When I look at this situation for the Buccaneers, you have a lighter schedule than the Atlanta Falcons. The only thing that sucks, you lost to them not once, but twice this year. You didn't even split with them. So if the Atlanta Falcons go out there and they beat you by one game, it is what it is. But when I look at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers schedule, you have to take care of business. Off of this bye week, they will face the New York Giants. Then they'll face the Carolina Panthers. They'll face the Las Vegas Raiders. The Los Angeles Chargers on the road, that is going to be tough. Then they face the Dallas Cowboys on the road. That should be a very easy game for them. Then they face the Carolina Panthers and the New Orleans Saints. It's a true chance that they may go out there, and it's a real possibility that they will go out there and only lose one game for the rest of the year. And if that does happen, that will set them up very nicely at the top of this division if the Atlanta Falcons can go out there and lose a couple more games. First, I want to start off with the offense. The offense has not been the reason to why this team is under 500. Their offense has been very good, even with the injuries that they have had to deal with. Coach Liam has been a very good offensive play caller. For the first time in many years, they can run the football. Ryan Jensen was an amazing offensive lineman for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He went down with a torn ACL. He wasn't able to be the same offensive lineman. He missed so much time, and he did come back and play in one playoff game against the Dallas Cowboys. He didn't look the same. So their rushing offense took a major hit. Soon as he retired, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers went out there. They drafted Graham Barton in the first round. He has been tremendous in the run game, and he's going to only get better moving forward. Give Coach Lim a lot of credit, but give Graham Barton a lot of credit. When I look at the running backs, Rashard White is solid. It's Bucky Irvin. That's the man that's going to be the lead running back for the rest of the year. And he's going to also be the future of that backfield for years to come. 492 rushing yards on the year, 4 rushing touchdowns. He's averaging 5 yards a carry. And you also have Sean Tucker, who has blazing speed. Not to say that Rashard White is a bad running back. I just think Bucky Irvin is better than him with catching the football at the backfield and running in between the tackles. He's just a better running back. So you really can have running back by committee, but continue to what you were doing before you entered the bye week. Give Bucky Irvin majority of the carries, and he has 96 carries on the season. He's leading the team in carries and in touches coming out of that backfield. You love to see that. Don't just completely phase out Rashard White. He's still a very good running back, but give Bucky Irvin the keys to the castle coming out of that backfield. I look at Baker Mayfield, 24 passing touchdowns to 9 interceptions. The interceptions are high, but I'm going to give him a pass. The reason I'm going to give him a pass, he's been in a lot of shootouts this season. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have not had the best wide receivers on the field. Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, phenomenal talents. Maybe the best wide receiver duo in the NFL over the last 5 to 6 years. The problem is this. They haven't been able to stay healthy. Chris Godwin got injured against the Baltimore Ravens, hurt his ankle, going to be out for the rest of the year. And that happened many weeks ago. Mike Evans, 3 weeks ago, hurt his hamstring in that same game against the Baltimore Ravens. So his true number 1 and number 2 wide receivers since then has been Trey Palmer, Jalen McMillan, Sterling Shepard, Ryan Miller. Those are not top receivers to have. You're going to battle with those wide receivers. No disrespect. And Baker Mayfield has still put up very good numbers with those talents around him. And Baker Mayfield has still found a way to get inside and outside the pocket and take off with his legs. He would be in the MVP conversation if the record was better. I understand the interceptions are high, but when you look at film and you see what he's doing, he's throwing wide receivers open. And it's been phenomenal to see. You also have Cade Otton, who has been a consistent tight end. 456 receiving yards on the year, 4 receiving touchdowns. He's been very good in the red zone. As long as Cade Otton can continue to go out there and win those one-on-one opportunities and get open in short yardage situations, and you have Mike Evans coming back against the New York Giants, if he can stay fully healthy, your offense should still be within the top 5, the top 10 of the NFL. And with a defensive mind like Todd Bowles, it should work out. So on the offensive end, I like the offensive line with Tristan Wirfs. I like what Baker Mayfield's been able to do this year. Mike Evans, one of the best wide receivers the NFL has ever seen. 1,000 yards every single season in his career. I do worry about who the number 2 option is going to be moving forward. But like I said, in this offense, they're running this offense through their tight ends, through their running backs until Mike Evans comes back. You can do a lot when you have a consistent run game, and they're ranked number 10 in terms of total rushing offense. You love to see that if you are a Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan, because it helps Baker Mayfield work off of play action. And you remember what happened many years ago when he was with the Cleveland Browns. Made the NFL playoffs because they had a dominant rushing attack and he could work off of play action. And Baker Mayfield is very good working off of play action and getting outside the pocket with his sneaky athleticism. Defensively, this is where things get very interesting. You have defensive head coach in Todd Bowles. I have a lot of problems with Todd Bowles. Now, in the past, I've given him a lot of praise. I'm going to do the same thing in this video. But right now, I'm about to give him a lot of criticism. They're ranked 30th in passing defense. That's not good enough. And I do understand that first matchup when they went against the Atlanta Falcons, when Kirk Cousins went out there and had over 500 yards passing and 4 passing touchdowns, Antoine Winfield was not on the field. Antoine Winfield was one of the best safeties in the NFL. As a coach, why are you blitzing this much against veteran quarterbacks? They blitzed a lot against Lamar Jackson. They blitzed a lot against Patrick Mahomes. And they continue to do this every single year since he's been the head coach. And I know why he does it, but sometimes dial back off the blitz. You're leaving your cornerbacks in one-on-one situations. Now, Zion McCollum has held his own. Zion McCollum has been very good all season long. He looks like a true number 1 cornerback for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And you heard about what players are saying in practice, that this kid is special. He's sticking with Mike Evans. He's sticking with Chris Godwin. You also have Tyke Smith at the nickel spot. He can play safety. He can play corner. Very versatile across the board in that back end of the defense. But blitzing up front is not going to help you out and help you make a deep playoff push if that's what you want to do. And I do understand they made the NFL playoffs last season. They beat the Philadelphia Eagles. They blitzed majority of the time. Jalen Hurts could not beat the blitz. That was an entire terrible situation with the Eagles. But credit to Todd Bowles. You also saw what happened against the Detroit Lions. They blitzed a lot, and Jared Goff went out there, and he was having a lot of good moments. He's a stubborn head coach. He loves to blitz. Sometimes it's dial back off the blitz. It's okay to go out there and blitz. That's the type of coach that he is. But when you have Vita Vea and Kalijah Kancey, just trust in them more. And Kalijah Kancey has missed a good portion of this season, but since he's been on the field, he's looked very good, him and Vita Vea. And you think their rushing defense would be in a better spot? Not this season. Last season, they had the top rushing defense. That's not the case this year. The defensive players have to step up, but Todd Bowles has to make better decisions moving forward with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense. Yaya Diaby led the team in sacks last year, hasn't been the same player this season. Only 2 sacks on the year. Logan Hall is a man that you thought was going to go out there and basically get a lot of single looks because of Vita Vea and because of Kalijah Kancey. He's getting a lot of single looks, but he only has 3 sacks on the year. You look at Levante David. He is still one of the best linebackers in the NFL today. Jordan Whitehead, solid veteran safety that you have around. He knows the system with Todd Bowles, but he's not going to go out there and be regarded as a top 5 safety in the NFL. He's just a solid playmaker to have on the back end alongside Antoine Winfield. Joe Tryon-Shoyinka has not been a very good pass rusher. And we're talking about every single year in his career. He has not taken that step just yet. So their defense, they have a lot of disappointment, a lot of guys that have not stepped up, and there's a lot of disappointments up front. But at the same time, they can turn things around since they are returning from this bye week. I like Todd Bowles a lot. I want him to be the coach moving forward, but it's the lack of details at times. And we're trusting your defense just a little bit too much. Remember how I said they just go out there and blitz the entire time? They did that against Kirk Cousins not once but twice this year, and he made them pay for it. And they've been in close football games this year. That's the frustrating part with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It's because Todd Bowles has been outcoached. Now, against the Kansas City Chiefs, I know a lot of Buccaneer fans saying, why not go for 2? You go for 2 in that situation when Baker Mayfield is red hot. Once again, credit to the offense, credit to Baker Mayfield and the wide receivers because they were dealing with so many injuries. They went into Arrowhead and went into overtime. I'm not going to come on here and fully blame Todd Bowles because the same ones are saying, why did Zach Taylor go for 2? Why don't you go into halftime? Why don't you go into overtime with the Baltimore Ravens? The man is a defensive head coach. He was trusting his defense and he was hoping that, hey, maybe Baker Mayfield will get us into a situation in overtime to where our defense stops Patrick Mahomes. We give Baker Mayfield the ball back. Next thing you know, we march down the field, we win the game. Or he was hoping that they would win the coin toss. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. They played the Kansas City Chiefs tough. They went out there against the Baltimore Ravens. They did get blown out. And that's another thing I want to talk about with Todd Bowles. Why is Chris Godwin still in the game so late in that matchup? You already have Mike Evans, who was going to be out with a hamstring injury. You can't afford these injuries. And he left him in the game. He hurts his ankle. You hate to see that. And you can say, hey, they're making a comeback against the Ravens. No, they were not. The game was over with. Go out there and take the players out. I hate when coaches do that. But they've went out there and they've had a lot of great moments. They put up 50 points on the New Orleans Saints. They were into 2 close football games with the Atlanta Falcons. They found a way to go out there and defeat the Philadelphia Eagles 33-16. And they also beat the Detroit Lions 20-16 a very long time ago. But they did that, and they did that in week number 2. I understand the Lions are a different team. I understand the Buccaneers are a different team, but it happened this year. And they defeated the Washington Commanders 37-20. They can go out there and take care of business. They have the personnel. The coaching has to be better. Todd Bowles has been in this situation not once, but twice in his career, and he's made it out on the other end. I hope nothing but the best for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Baker Mayfield moving forward, and it should be a fun race to see who is going to win this division, the Atlanta Falcons or the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But let me know in the comment section below, who do you think is going to win this division, the Atlanta Falcons or the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you like the video, hit the like button. Most importantly, want each and every last one of you guys stay safe, stay positive. Thanks for the video, guys. God bless.